Get strong.
Welcome to Road Atlanta, a fun track that is a favorite to a lot of road course drivers and one that, well, IndyCar has seen before, but as you know, we saw this track about a season or two ago, and we returned tonight for race number 5, as we're counting, of the TI Racing IndyCar Series as we welcome you in to the Apex Sage Coaching Grand Prix of Road Atlanta. It's race number 5 of 10, of course, of this season, this 2.5-mile track in Braselton, Georgia, roughly about 10 minutes or so from where I sit right now. But this a very fun road course that a lot of drivers like to race. And here's the interesting part about this as I show you the track map here. And the interesting thing about this map is last night we were broadcasting a short track race on dirt at Lanier Raceplex. That is the old Lanier National Speedway. Tonight, the easiest job I think my crew have ever had to do of myself in walking across the street to set up at Road Atlanta for tonight's race in the broadcast here. It's going to be a lot of fun. So all jokes aside, though, we are ready to have a good time this evening as we welcome in my broadcast partner, Gary Gotzo, who's here. He's got the Hendon Gary ready to go for later on as he flies to his secret location for some other stuff later. But Gary, we're here tonight, Road Atlanta. This track, a very, very technical track, does have some straightaways, but very famous for its S's. It's very hilly and a lot of elevation changes here in the just south of what is the start of the North Georgia mountains.
Yeah, because of those elevation changes, these cars kind of behave differently. And as we saw last year, I'm going to rename this race the One-Wing Grand Prix, where eventual winner and our participant today, Isaac Morris, damaged one of his wings either at the bottom of the hill coming to the start-finish line or at the top of the hill going into turn 2, and it went an entire stint with a damaged wing. And when we interviewed him after the race, which he won, he said, "What wing?" So this is just to tell you that if you're a great driver, you're just going to drive this place really good. And there's some great drivers on the track right now. The track record in real life is a 107. We're seeing 105s.
Wow.
In fact, there are everybody from fifth place, 13th place and higher are less than 107. So they are scorching here. And if this was a real live IndyCar race here, which there really hasn't been one, I believe they've only raced Indy Lights here has been the closest. And this did show up on the Champ Car USAC schedule for one season before it was canceled. But if real cars did race here, I would only imagine that these guys would be screaming through these S's out of that turn 1-2 complex.
So as we get ready to go racing here for 63 laps this evening, let's take a look at the schedule. Of course, this is the original schedule. Move all the ovals down to the bottom, basically. And so we're at Road Atlanta tonight. Next week, we fly to Italy, get some pasta, and go to Monza. And then after that, the Laguna Seca race. And then we hit the 3 oval tracks in a row. We re-rack them and do Michigan, Indianapolis, and Pocono. The Triple Crown going to be the final 3 races on the schedule. Taking a look at the point standings. It's a one-man show right now at the top. Part of that is because Daniel McDonald did not race last week. So we have now a tight battle for the second position between McDonald, Saban, and Philip Lee, who had his best career run last week at Road America, finishing up there in the top 3 when it was over with. But a pretty tight battle there amongst 2nd through 6th, Gary.
Yeah, and actually I've heard from some birdies because, of course, this is fixed Indy 500 weekend. iRacing wanted that Indy bug to be fixed with the IR18s for this big weekend for all the Indy drivers. Right now, the going assumption is that it is fixed, and we will find out one way or another this weekend when everyone has those fixed races, which will be 4 of them starting on Friday and going through Sunday, that if those are successful, chances are Indy will come back onto the schedule for next week.
And that should be a lot of fun this weekend. I know I probably plan to run the Indy 500 myself. I'm a winner of the race, believe it or not, surprisingly. And we're looking forward to that when it's all over with. Now, taking a look at the team points, as we're just still working through qualifying right now. Team points look like this. It is the TI Racing Show right now up there at the top. But GTS RL looking pretty solid there, 2nd, and then it starts to kind of get a little tighter. Addict Racing there in 3rd, Kamagoye there in 4th, Extreme 5th. And, even credit to LMC Gear for only having 1 or 2 cars in each race. They're holding on strong there in the 6th position when it is all over with. And Sutter Esports continues to be tied with Haas. I'm sorry, I had to do it, in points. Sorry, Haas. Actually, I should probably more apologize to Sutter for comparing it. Anyways, I'm opening Pandora's box with that one.
Poor Bethany. I have no beef with her, but she's going to be upset at me and you for that. And I don't blame her.
You compared my team to Haas? No, I'm pretty sure your team doesn't have anybody named Mazepin on it. Anyway, so as we continue on, hey, let's bring an interview in here, shall we? I think this is a good segue. So we wanted to get through that real quickly. And we got a young man that we're going to bring up here into the booth. If he's waiting here, I'm just going to go grab him, surprise him. Like, hey, by the way, you're going to join us. He's right down here. He's a part of the Mimsy team. And let's bring him up here to join us this evening. Jeff Destino, you got a copy, sir?
I do have a copy.
Hey, we do copy. Well, if we copied you, we'd be known as copycats. But anyways, we welcome you into the booth here and appreciate your time. Let's talk about your experience here. I know you're a name that we're just getting used to here in the TI Racing Series. Talk about your season so far and some things that you think you could either improve on or so on and so forth.
Yeah, so this is my 2nd season, well, my first full-time season in TI, so I'm learning a lot. And I would say the name of the game is really survival for me at this point. There are a lot of very fast people in this league, obviously. And so I'm just here to learn from people who are far better than me, and hopefully I can give them trouble in about 60 years.
60 years, huh? Well, I mean, that is entirely possible. I think at that time we'll be driving vehicles that look like the old F-Zero video game on Super Nintendo. But either way, I mean, let's talk about Road Atlanta here. How's the track treating you? I know you're 22nd fastest. We won't let that deter you here in qualifying. How's the track treating you? Is it are you having trouble with it, or how do you feel out there?
Well, I was still decoding parts of it up until last night, but I did find a pace on the primary tires that does work for me. I actually did the entire qualifying session on the primary tires just so I could get more track time and more experience to dial in my braking points and things like that. So that was intentional, but I feel good about it. I'm a former motorcycle racer. So I am basically trying to also boil all of my motorcycle riding habits out of this experience as well. But I like the track. It's very technical, and it's a lot of fun. And I hope to stay alive and live to tell the tale.
Well, we'll let you get ready to get out there and run this race here in a second, but I do have to ask you, when you're turning in the car on your sim, do you have your right or left knee rubbing the ground of your carpet at the house?
That would be the right knee. Thank you so much for asking.
Hey, man, we wish you the best, man. Thanks for your time, Jeff, and good luck tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That is Jeff Destino, part of the Mimsy team. That was a fun conversation right there. But it was immediate when he said he was a former motorcycle racer. I'm like, okay, I got to go to knee joke in here somewhere. Because as you know, if you ever watched the World Grand Prix or whatever, those guys that run like NBC MotoGP or
yeah.
I mean, those things, I mean, their knees, I mean, how do they have skin on their knees still, even though they wear padding, is amazing to me.
How they get that low to the ground.
That's a fair point, too.
Kept, falling back over is amazing to me as well. So.
And the other question I should have asked him: do they go to wrestling school for bumps? Because I mean, when they hit that ground, you ever notice how they kind of fold up and kind of let their arms fold in and kind of it's like they're taking a wrestling bump?
Yeah, they should actually have a second career as stuntman if that's the case.
Oh man, yeah, those guys have a lot of Anyways, yeah, qualifying's over, and we have a kind of a surprise pole sitter tonight. Daniel McDonald, who missed the race last week, he is going to be the pole sitter for tonight's race as these guys start to grid on the track. Are they on pit road or are they on?
No, they are on the end of the backstretch.
That would make sense why my grid button, I'm on the grid cam, and I'm like, nobody's down here on the front stretch. Anyways, so, yeah, here we are as they're starting to grid. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for this race as I hit the wrong button. That's what I did there. I'm on a roll tonight. Daniel McDonald wins the pole with a 105.852, so I guess we could call that a new track record right there. Daniel McDonald, the Scottish driver, wins the pole there alongside Will Ashworth, who had the pole for a little bit. Teammate there, Jessica Saban, going to start third alongside Vilda Whalen. Isaac Morris, the dominant driver, going to start P5. That might be his worst starting spot of the season, if I think about it. AJ Stravado, the Floridian, looking pretty good up there in the 6th position. Philip Lee, coming off his career best finish at Road America. And Ito Vila, who we'll see how the ratio of push to passes and laps ran go tonight for Edu. He is definitely not afraid to go P2P when that is all when he's out there running laps. Let's see. Lester going to start there in 9th position, and Luke Daniels, funny story, his team owner actually gave him some advice at the last minute to switch to reds during qualifying, and he went P10 after that, so credit to him. Nick Fleury and Carlos Dotero going to start there in the 11th and 12th position. Taking a look at the rest of the starting grid here. Sam Fontaine, Dan Morera, Danny Brennan making his debut tonight. I see Kamagoye went out and got himself another guy alongside Austin Sarr. Tim Miller and the big Grabowski going to start there in the 18th position. Dylan Reisel, Andres Perez, Matthew Teller, Jeff Destino, David Whimsy, Isaac Lopez, and Chris Lewis isn't running the race because, well, he's Chris Lewis. Anyways, 63 laps in this race, and here we go. Racing from Road Atlanta. This is going to be the tricky part. Up the hill to turn 1, and then we got a big section of S's here that could easily be calamity because it's blinding right here at this right-hander.
Yeah, it's kind of blind coming up that hill into turn 1, too.
Well, it's very blinding there, but here you almost got to use a part of the track to know when to turn. And it looks like everybody threw the S's pretty cleanly from what I see. Up the hill down to turn number the 5 section here. A right-hander down before they get to the long straightaway.
Yeah, this is the former Whittington Memorial Airport runway right here.
And you're going to see a lot of push to pass getting used right here as here comes Ashworth looking for the lead down the straightaway.
You got a little bit of a Pruitt fade going on there.
Yeah. We had a Pruitt fade last night at Watkins Glen in the TI truck race I had to mention on the air. And it did not involve Gary Godso, thankfully. Lap 1 in the books, and it is Daniel McDonald
The goal of the Pruitt fade is if you can detect the Pruitt fade, you fail.
Yes. So let's talk about rhythm here, because this track very hard to pass on. I mean, the only passing section you have here is down that long straightaway towards the turn 10 chicanes here. So how do you get yourself set up for something like that, Gary, and get yourself into a rhythm here? Because I mean, if you're faster than the car in front, you got to be careful.
It's not so much a rhythm, it's just getting yourself into the position and using those push to passes wisely and hitting your break points wisely. And getting yourself in the position where you can put that pass on, because there's really two places. You're right, at the end going into turn 1, that's one of them, and then right before going down the main straight, that's the other slow corner there. You could get your nose in there. There was some passing last time that we were here. That's another zone. At the chicane at the bottom of the hill also is another zone, but that's it. I mean, there's only about 2 or 3 zones here that you get a chance to actually try to do something. And but there are 3 pretty good zones to fire off that push to pass if you want to. The main straight and each side of the straights that are on the back side of the course. Getting into the rhythm, it's very easy to do here. I'm not a good road course racer, but I feel I seem to do pretty well here, just because there is a rhythm. I mean, you're going in the corners, there's left and right. You don't get too many low gear corners, and a lot of times your foot's down on the floor because they have these nice straightaways here.
Yeah, and they're at nice straightaways. So this track flows very well, and I should say, while Gary was talking there, you saw Dylan Reisel on pit road. He unfortunately has had some issues, and the big Grabowski has gone off track also here. So 2 accidents, but they do have resets to use, and there's Steve going to get the front wing back on his car. Not sure what happened to him, but let's see the Dylan Reisel wreck real quickly.
We got a shot for the lead here. Will's on the outside, coming at the chicane over Daniel. And Daniel holds on. He defends. Will's all over him, though.
He is all over him very well. Those Chevy cars looking pretty good there. Daniel blinking a little bit. Now, as I mentioned, I live here about 10 minutes north of this track. That hill right there at turn 11 is very underestimated in iRacing, how steep that thing is. It is easily a 3 to 4 story drop right there. I mean,
yeah, I would imagine that's a little bit like rolling right now.
I was going to say, you think of Splash Mountain. You think of drops at Disney World, because everybody's been to Disney World for the most part. So think of Splash Mountain. Think of Journey to Atlantis at SeaWorld. Rides like that, where you see that drop. That is almost what that is, except you're turning right. Ashworth goes off. Yep.
Into the. Oh man. Hard onto the power, trying to get that run on Daniel, and just brings the back end around.
Very easy to do. Now, I did hear something from some of the drivers that said when you get about 3 to 4 laps on these reds, and somebody else spins right in front. Oh, who is that in that multicolored car? Not sure who that is, but anyways, these red tires, after about 3 or 4 laps, they are very skatey, I'm told.
Bill the Whale in purple, 106.793, so she's the fastest on the track at the moment.
See, Ashworth spins, Destino running. That was David Whimsy, I think, by the way, in that multicolored car. I'm like, who is in this purple-blue fade chrome illusion looking scheme? It's a really sharp, actually, paint scheme. Or livery, as they say in IndyCar. I'm sorry. I'm used to calling them paint schemes. Or as Julian Alton says over, Spinella? What the heck is that?
Oh, Spinella. Yeah, that's a Formula One thing when you spin. Livery is actually more of a Formula One thing. I've just always called them Indy cars paint. Right. We got a pass for Tim for third. We got Morris on the inside of Whalen. They're side by side coming down the hill.
Down the hill. This is very tricky right here. Car wants to sweep out, and they almost hit each other.
Thing is, Isaac's in the position to pull the pass off right there.
Very sweeping turn 1.
He's pulled it off. She's not going to let him get too far away.
Push to pass wise, everybody pretty much holding strong between 8 and 10. Isaac Lopez blowing the world away right now with 7. I say that because Edu has only used 1 so far in this race. So maybe the button issue's fixed. I'm just coming up with an excuse maybe why he uses so many.
Maybe they disabled it to a certain number of pushes. Every third push it works or something.
So Isaac Morris running in the third position. I'm saying that name very slowly. Julian caught something in a stream recently I did that I called. As you know, I seem to be the biggest mix-up I have as Isaac goes forward here in the corner on Vilda. For third, there's the crossover. And he's going to do the same thing he just did to... Oh, my gosh, that's close.
Yeah,
that looked like
got that position back.
That looked like Groundhog Day. But no, I was about to say, though, is... apparently in a broadcast recently, I called Isaac Van de Sant. And I never caught it. So apologize to both of them. But I'm very good at calling Isaac Alex and Alex Isaac. Why? I don't know. Maybe because they're both young men? I don't know. So back here, the closest battle on track, Carlos Dotero getting Sam Fontaine here, the French-Canadian driver, trying to battle Carlos for the 9th position here. Right at the edge of the top 10. AJ Stravato, who was real fast in practice, right there behind them. Sam loses a little bit of the nose as Carlos almost parked it in the corner there.
I tell you what, you need to keep the camera on Whalen and Morris because they are just
They're swapping each other here.
She just got the position back again in 10A and 10B. They're coming through 11 and 12, and he's got the run. He's going to get her back again at 1. The thing that is doing is just wearing out their tires. Actually, I believe Isaac is on the harder of the two compounds, so he wants to get around her. He is desperate to get around her to set sail for the other two who are on the softer compound.
So what's happening basically is she's faster through the technical portion of the track, which she should because she's on the alternate reds. But when Isaac's on the prime, he only has a couple corners and is able to use the speed and the longevity of those tires. But needless to say, these two are pretty much fighting. I think Isaac's getting away a little bit here. He's probably going to use a little bit of a block here.
Yeah, I think this battle might be over for now. I can definitely see Bill just saying, "I'll get you next time." You know, it's just if she had the right tires, I'm sure they'd still be battling it on.
Now let's talk a little bit about the cameras tonight. We do have the Track Cams 4 Gourmets in work tonight here at Road Atlanta. If you're looking for cameras like this, if you're a road course person like Gary, likes to run the road and stuff like that, you can check out trackcams22.com. There's a link right there in the information page on YouTube. So you're seeing pretty much realistic television cameras and more out here tonight on the screen. So we're going to have different types of camera looks and stuff as you see them come through the S's here. And so on and so forth. So if you like ovals or road, or if you're a rallycross person, virtual reality, or even fan experience, you can check out the trackcams22.com website for all your information there. But Gary, let's talk strategy here real quickly. We're at lap number 10. The window is just about open. I think basically you can go 21 laps in max mode without saving on a tank of fuel. So with that said, that means 21, 21, 21, which equals 63 laps, which is our lap distance tonight. So I think you could see some two-stop, but I don't know if two-stop wins this race.
Yeah, the rate that they're pushing right now, I don't think there's much conservation going on at all, at least on the top 5 or so of the leaders. But yeah, this is definitely at least a two-stopper, and then if you're going to make it a two-stopper, you got to start driving like Scott Dixon.
Yeah, you got to back off that throttle and just kind of save fuel and stuff like that, and that's what it comes down to when it's all over with. And we've had some issues with drivers, looks like here, so I'm just checking this out. Ashworth Grabowski's had issues. Matthew Telder's had it off. Luke Daniels has had it off. Reisel's had it off. So a lot of cars having issues in this race that is turning into an attrition race. But McDonald's led all the laps so far with Sabin in second. Isaac Morris about 1.9 back right now. Vilda Whalen and Philip Lee are top 5. Vilda trying to hold off Philip Lee, who's coming off that very big win at Road America, and Vilda's going to pull over, I think, and let Philip go.
Yeah, I believe they're teammates, so that's probably a team orders thing.
Team orders? What is Formula One?
God forbid team orders. I know a lot of people do not like team orders. I am a big proponent of team orders. That's why you have a team, to help each other out. There's no I in team. That's what you're going to do.
You know, and that's the one thing, you know, that I've told the XSE team, Extreme Sim Racer, XSR, I think. I've told them there's no team orders. You race. Just don't wreck each other. As Danny Brennan looking to the outside of Fontaine. Fontaine lets him go down into the right-hander here before turn, I think it's turn 6. I lose the corners in my head here.
Yeah, Danny's come up from 7 down. You said it during the start that this is his first race. Actually, this is, at least I think this is, he actually runs for me. I know he was in I think this is his 3rd or 4th race, actually.
Right.
He was definitely at Michigan. He was at Sebring, and I believe he also, I think he just missed Long Beach, though. But he is a well-experienced LMP and LMP2 at 1 and 2 driver on the endurance ranks. And when I went seeking some good road course racers, I wanted to go outside of the IndyCar community and try to find some different type of talent. And these guys that do LMP and LMP 1 and 2 cars, they know what they're doing and behind the wheel of an IndyCar.
Yeah, they do a great job out here, and Danny's doing a great job as we ride with him through the S section of the track here. 5th gear here in this uphill sweeping left-hander before they get out on the straightaway. This is inside the helmet, looking at the 25.
So it looks like Isaac has made the pass for 2nd, and he is ahead of Lee. And
Saban's
Waylon
falling
is
back.
Ahead of Lee. Saban is falling back. She might have an issue. We might have to review some tape on that one, but she's back to 5th. That's fine, long as she's got the pace and everything. She's
As
good.
you know,
her teammates. Yeah, her teammate.
I find it.
Her teammate is back in 8th, coming up to probably help her out, as well as Nick Fleury in 10th. So she's in a good spot.
Saban going down the straightaway here into the chicane, and let me guess. Oh, loses the back end and does a lazy spin, keeps it out of the kitty litter.
Yeah, sounds like maybe a little too much front forward brake bias.
There we go. So just a little mistake. She still carry on in the 5th position, doing a great job there. As you see, as you mentioned, Isaac now up to 2nd, but 2.4 seconds back right now is your top 2 cars in this race. And we got a 3-car fight. Look at this. 8th, 9th, 10th, Fontaine, Brennan, and Fleury. So Fontaine got back past Danny Brennan, and not to mention, who's that behind them? I think there's a lap car in here also.
Jay Stravato.
Yeah, Stravato also in this battle too. Stravato actually is 18th. He has had some issues, it looks like.
Hey, those cars are skatey coming off of turn 7.
And most of these guys on the reds, and they said they could go about 15 laps on them. So I would not be surprised here in the next couple of laps if somebody's going, oh, nice crossover move here. As Fontaine going to get passed by Fleury, or I'm sorry, by Brennan. El Fleury spins. As they complete lap 13 here, most of these guys. And I think the window is open right now. If you want to split this race into 3, I think the race is open right now. Or the pit strategy. Whatever I'm trying to say.
They'll probably get me off these tires.
Please. And there might be some other adjectives in there too.
And you weren't too far talking about, in the intro, talking about me hitting the Hinden, Gary, later, because I am actually headed over to Germany.
Oh, geez. Hey, by the way, Isaac has hawked down McDonald really quickly. 2 seconds faster. You think the alternates have fallen off the map?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
McDonald trying to hold on here, and Isaac started on the prime, so he's probably going to stretch this as far as he can in this race.
Last time by McDonald at 109.127, Morris at 109.124. So just fractionally faster, not a lot. It might be getting a little bit of that aero loss that's kind of slowed him down at this point.
Hey, you might want to check chat before you leave, Gary. Apparently, I think somebody's trying to lure one of your drivers away. But anywho, I'll go from there. So yeah, we got now it's becoming a 3-car battle for the lead as Philip Lee is bringing himself up in this 3-car fight now. Vilda Whalen not too far back, also 3 seconds back, Saban 6 back. So this is turning into a real good fight here, and you wonder if Daniel gets to a point where you're like, okay, he's holding up people now, which, hey, it's his right to. He's the leader. You got to pass him.
Well, he could be coming in this lap. We don't know, and that's the guy with the guys with these primary tires. They know these guys with the reds have to come in soon.
Oh,
and
right there on cue.
There's that move right there. There's that move right there. So why push the issue when you know the guy's going to pit?
So McDonald comes to pit road off the alternates, which this is kind of a weird scenario because Daniel usually runs the same strategy as Isaac, but tonight they're different.
I guess it's whatever you feel most comfortable on.
Which in this,
I know. Typically, when it comes to road course tires, since I always tend to feel more comfortable on the blacks or on the primes for some reason. Because I understand after a while, my pace isn't as fast as some others, so they don't. I could go longer with them. In other words. And reds typically when they go off for me, they just go off really quick. So it's all a feeling thing of what you prefer. And I think the amount of miles that Isaac did here, he said, hey, I like the primes over the alts, and that's the strategy he chose. It's also not a bad strategy because you got 2 guys in the front, you split. You split the strategy, so now you kind of playing your cards across two spots in the table now instead of just one.
so you see Daniel got out on pit road. He comes out in the 9th position here. Here's the bad news about that stop. He comes out right in the middle of traffic. So he's got Austin Sarr about 2 seconds ahead. He's got a couple of lap cars. So some of these guys right here in the middle of this traffic now, especially Daniel. So this is not the optimal position for somebody who's just pitted out of the lead if he wants to try to gain time on Isaac Morris, because Isaac is going to be trying to lay down burners now, basically. Lewis Hamilton-like laps.
Last time by, he did a 107.144. He's not near just, actually it's a Vilda's lap of a 106.793 yet, but he is faster by 0.8 over Philip Lee, who went down with the 107.96.
See Sam Fontaine, Austin Sarr, 2 of the XSR cars on pit road. And apparently Ito Vila has passed on the push to pass virus to Isaac Lopez tonight, who's down to 4 already here in lap 17. I just noticed that. I'm like, whoa, he's on the burners. So Morris now with a 1.4 second lead. Let's look at this lap time here. 107.39, Philip Lee, 107.50, 107.82 from Vilda. So Saban a 75. That's your top 4 right there, all within about 7 seconds of each other. $17 laps in already.
Down to 3.
Now, if you haven't pitted by now, I'm pretty sure you're going to try to stretch out the fuel and you're going to stop here.
Yes, sir.
Up to 1.5 right now. Oh, did Andy Brandon have issues? He's okay. I see the word crashed over here. I didn't know if he went off track or something, but looks like he's okay there. Danny in the 12th position right now.
So Isaac's wings looking A-OK.
So far.
So far.
So Brandon right now in the 12th position. Daniel McDonald still right here in 7th now. He's got Tim Miller behind him. He's got Ito Vila about 16 seconds ahead. So now he has to clean. Somebody's off the track right there. I think that was Destino he went by. But Daniel now has that clear track where he can try to get these blacks up to, or the prime tires up to prime temp, and get these guys up to speed and try to make up some time on Isaac Morris, who that time by a 27 or an 07.28 for Morris. Daniel an 07.73. Tim Miller on pit road. So a lot of strategy going on right now in this race. I think a majority of these cars you're going to see, right now I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 of the top 12 are on looks like a two-stop strategy. You have to look at Daniel McDonald, and then down to 13th, Fontaine, Miller, Sarr, Stravato on potentially doing a three-stop strategy to get to the finish of this race.
Yeah, the only person in the top 12 is McDonald, who has
Right.
already made a stop. Everyone else is currently on their first stint. And there's a mix of different tires in that first stint as well, or in this group as well. So there's a lot of different strategies going on. And it's a shame I gotta blow out of here in a couple minutes, because this is actually the strategy going on is making this thing pretty interesting how it's going to unfold.
Now, this is part of the reason they extended the distances of some of these races this season, is because, you know, and I'm not going to take credit for it, but I threw this suggestion to them, especially that Road America race last year. That race last season was one of the best races that they have had last season, and there was a lot of strategy in it. So we talked about it, and I suggested to them, I said, hey, maybe extend these races out and make strategy a part of this, because that's where, you know, I think back to the Mid-Ohio races last season when they ran the double headers of 75 laps, and Scott Dixon got out of the car and said, well, that was about the boringest race I've ever done, because all you do is pit twice and get to the finish.
Right, and I was just getting ready to say, there is tons of strategy in Formula One and real IndyCar racing that makes things interesting, makes you want to stay and stick around and watch. And
Fontaine
for the leader.
Fontaine goes for a spin. He was battling Nick Fleury for position, does a 360 and doesn't lose too much time. He's only going to lose one position, it looks like. But unfortunately, track position when you don't see cautions. Oh, and another XSR car off the track. Is that Austin? Yep, Austin Sarr goes off. So, yeah.
Yeah.
They're having a struggling lap here on lap number 20, but they keep on going.
Leader is pitting.
Isaac Morris is in.
And now if he's doing a two-stop race, he could go with the primes again, or he could go with the alts again. And it looks like Vilda and her teammate also are coming in this time.
I think you go ahead and get off the alternates now, or get on the alternates now. Run them in the middle of the race if you're going to do a two-stopper, so that you can go back to the primes and know you can get them all the way to the finish. But you know what? I'm wrong. Isaac knows more. He's on the primes.
Nope, he is on the primes.
He knows more than me. Go figure. Coming up after the show tonight, Isaac knows best. Now, I'm actually going through the Dan Lisa website. We were at Road Atlanta November 23rd last season. It was season 3. And Isaac Morris did win this race. And you were talking about the track record and stuff. The fastest lap in that race was a 104.90.
Okay, I wasn't sure what it was, but they're still fast.
Yeah, Isaac ended up winning that race. He led 51 of 54 laps, so this race actually 9 laps longer. Ed Kerstetter finished second. Cohen Evans, Caleb Bensey, and Oscar Fredrickson made an appearance in that race, finishing in the top 5. So basically how that all worked out, there were 18 cars in that race. Again, that was ran back in November. So
24 in this one.
24 here, a little bit of extended field as Saban comes to pit road. That'll hand the lead over to Isaac Morris.
And on that note, I thank you for allowing me to join you here for the first round of pit stops and everything. And may this race be as exciting as I hope it is turning out to be.
Hey, have fun flying over the German and have a schnitzel for me.
Jawohl.
Oh, and then ein Bier Wette.
All right. Tschüss.
That's one beer, please. Anyways.
All right.
Gary Gonzo checking out for the evening as he gets in the Hinden Gary and flies over to one of those Germany tracks. I didn't even ask which one he was going to. Anyways, yeah. As we continue on, Isaac Morris leading here. I'm going to turn the channel off so I can turn audio on inside the race now. So basically, for those who don't know, Gary actually has a broadcast now on Tuesday night. So he comes over and helps me out with the broadcast because, let's face it, I need him. And then he jumps over and does his other broadcast throughout the rest of the season as Nick Fleury comes to pit road. running in the 10th position right now. This is lap number 22. So this is the start of the guys who are going all the way on 2 stops, running the fuel all the way out. So as you see, because of the pit stops, and you could say traffic maybe got in the way a little bit, but Isaac Morris has now a 2.2 second lead over Daniel McDonald, his teammate. As you know, McDonald entered in the lead, so Isaac was able to overcut with the strategy and with the tires in that situation. Everybody doing a pretty fantastic job here. The attrition rate's been pretty low so far. A lot of cars still out on track, only 2 off the track. Now, we've had some other people have racing incidents and stuff like that, but for the most part, everybody else doing a fairly good job out here. And let's look at the battle for second. That's shaping up. Philip Lee right here behind Daniel. You got that battle going on. As Telder on pit road. Philip Lee about 1 second back. And then back here for position, the 10th place battle is Dan Marrera. Thanks, Dan, by the way, for the points graphics he had for me earlier tonight. Much appreciated there. Yeah, I see some people picking on Mr. Lewis out there. And I'm going to have to say, if the races weren't so late, Chris, doesn't your races start 30 minutes later time-wise than the other league that Oscar races in? I'm just saying. As we continue on. Appreciate everybody chatting with us, by the way, guys. 16 viewers watching tonight. Much appreciated. Here, race number 5 of this series. So we got this battle right here as Austin's about 5/10 back, and then you got Danny Brennan back here with Carlos Dotero. These guys battling out for position also, as Danny about 6/10 ahead right now, back in the 16th position. Brennan Vilda Whalen doing a great job in the 3rd position. Let's take a lap around this Road America, or Road Atlanta. I knew I was going to say that once tonight. Road Atlanta track. There's the camera. On board with Vilda here. So down the long straightaway they go. It's one of the rare courses I've actually run plenty of laps on. You come down the long straightaway here, down here to the bus stop, or not the bus stop, the chicane. It's a left-righter. And then somebody is... and I fell for it again. That's a wall up there. I keep thinking somebody spun. They come over the hill, and then they come down this hill that easily drops about 3 or 4 stories. Right there. Down the very short front straightaway that runs parallel to Highway 53 right here in Brazelton. Down to turn 1, a sweeping, blinding corner right here. Then you come up, turn 2 is this left-hander, and you cannot see turn 3 at all. That line right there is the line you choose to almost turn into that corner. And very easy to overdrive. Down the straightaway, another blinding right-hander, and through the S's. And a big elevation change right there. And then up the short chute straightaway, we'll call it, down to, there's actually a helicopter pad over here in the middle of the track, as one car is off the pace there. And then into the long straightaway goes Vilda. That's pretty much a lap around here. Down the straightaway she goes as she works on this lap car here before she gets to Philip Lee, who's about 6 seconds ahead. Now let's cut away from this because we got a fight right here behind her. Or behind, right behind her for position. Lester's trying to hold off Jessica Sabin, who is right there. And Lester's got some blinking issues. Don't mind the damage. That's only from blinking. as Saban looks to the inside here, turn one. And she's going to take the pass. So Jessica makes the pass, moves up to the 5th position. She's doing a fantastic job here as Isaac now leads by 4.2 seconds over McDonald. So Isaac starting to stretch this thing away. Isaac, the only winner so far in this race's history, as he won 2 seasons ago. Looking to go 2 for 2 here at Road Atlanta. So push to pass wise, everybody doing a pretty solid job. The only one who's put the wear on him is Isaac Lopez, who is already out of push to passes, believe it or not. AJ Stravato running in the 11th position here. AJ, again, a predominantly oval guy, just learning how to run these road courses. If I remember correctly, had a decent run last week at Road America, and here he is tonight running 11th. Had a little bit of an issue early in this race. He started up in 6th. Give a shout out to this guy right here in the 8th position right now. How about Tim Miller? Tim in this number 42 car. He started back in 17th position and he's kept it on track, running up here in 8th in this GTSRL Indy number 42. Excuse me. Hiccups mid-talk. 9 cars on the lead lap right now. AJ Stravato to pit road. Andres Perez to pit road. This is at lap 30, which is about the window right now, especially if you've run alternate, if you want to get off those tires. This would be the time you'd want to pit. Issue for Isaac Lopez. Right there at the start-finish line, and I see some wing hanging out there. Let's see what happens here. Isaac, the Iberia driver, comes up on the back bumper of the gearbox of Lester, kind of goes off a little bit, has to check up, and it gets ran over by a car. I'm not sure who that is that ran him over. I know it was a Chevy car. But Isaac, unfortunately, fallen victim to that. It might have been Danny Brennan. Yep, it is. There's the one wing. So Danny Brennan makes the contact with Isaac, and he's going to have to come to pit road, likely to get that wing fixed, as he does right now. And Jessica Saban coming in with one wing. Yeah, I've been watching that battle there. Not BMBLB. I have no clue what the heck that means, but interesting name, sir or ma'am. So there's Saban on pit road. Going to get the wing back on the car. You do have one reset on the road course. Go up here and check it out. As Daniel comes up on the back bumper of Austin Saar. I say bumper, I mean gearbox. Forgive me. Going to let Philip Lee also go by. Now again, next week it will be the Monza road course. We'll fly over to Italy for the one outside the country race. The selfish side of me is still trying to hope that Chris Lewis, the owner of the league, runs the combined. I know it's not happening. McDonald coming up on the back of Sam Fontaine. Fontaine lets him go on by. Philip Lee coming up behind him there. But Isaac just continues to stretch that lead. 6.1 seconds now as Danny Brennan on pit road getting that wing fixed. Philip Lee about a second back. Then you got Vilda Whalen about 8 seconds back into 4th position. Lester 23 back in 5th. So back to Tim Miller here. Tim, the last car now on the lead lap in this race in the 9th position. Tim about 7 seconds back from Jessica Saban. Fastest lap of the race, a 108.1. Right now about a second off from his fastest lap as Isaac goes 106.84. Fastest lap of the race, I believe, right there. So the window is open now. If those who come on pit road right now, they'll be able to make this there'll be one more stop to the finish. And in the 9 laps from now, you should see the rest of the field come to pit road that are on the 2-stopper and get them to the finish here at lap 63 in this race. As I mentioned, Tim doing a great job here in this race. How about Dan Marrera quietly running in the 10th position? Dan's about 10 seconds back from Fontaine. He's got 11 on Fleury, so he's kind of out here on his own little island right now. So in case you didn't know, this track is actually now called Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. This track was purchased by Michelin a couple of years back. Used to be just called straight up Road Atlanta. And so if you might notice, I haven't really said Michelin Raceway. Not on purpose, just part of it. There's actually a motorbike course, a dirt course, just to the right of this area right here, over to the west of this track. There's a portion, you see that Fox factory right there on the bridge. There's actually a motocross, it's a wooded course that you see like dirt bikes and people race. They actually had the AMA series over here a couple weeks ago running a race at the Real Life Road Atlanta. They got the drift cars, I believe, just ran there also last week. And of course, the biggest race they have all year, of course, comes later on in the fall, the 10 hours of Road Atlanta. Or the Petit Le Mans, otherwise known as. So there's Isaac continuing to run laps out here in the 107s. Continuing to be the fastest car out there on the track. Hey, let's jump back here. A couple for 14th. This is right behind the leader. The 14th and 15th place battle. Isaac Lopez, who, by the way, has 0 push to passes. He has Carlos Dotero on his rear, on his gearbox here, trying to make a pass. And Carlos did make the pass on Lopez just now into the corner, so move him up. We are past the halfway point in this Road Atlanta Grand Prix presented by Apex Sage Coaching. want to give a shout out to again, Track Cams for Gourmets. If you're looking for oval, road, rallycross, virtual reality, and even fan experience cameras, you can check out the Track Cams 22 website. That's over on the YouTube information page. When you click the bottom part of YouTube, you can see all the information right there. You get a link to trackcams22.com. Those are the cameras you're seeing tonight here from Road Atlanta. Isaac just went purple, 106.74, so he is starting to get the prime out of the prime tires. He ran that last time by. Let's see what he does this time by. Across the start-finish line, 106.94, so you can tell Isaac is getting ready to come to pit road because he is putting burners down now. He's got 10 seconds now over Philip Lee as Daniel McDonald came to pit road, and oh, he's got some damage. I just saw that right rear flapping a little bit. Something happened to Daniel McDonald while we were talking, I think. Oh, never mind. I must have been seeing things. I thought I saw the right rear flipping in the wind. But Daniel's been on pit road and come back out. His last stop was a 9.4, so he's got his tank filled up. He's on the primes again, so he's probably trying to go to the finish from here. The General Lee, I like it. I just don't know if would the General Lee work for Indy cars, because now I feel like I'm kind of stepping over the boundaries of, you know, the whole stereotype of stock car racing being for rednecks or for country boys and stuff like that, which would be the General Lee for that demographic. Can I associate that here? As Sam Fontaine comes to pit road, 25 laps to go. You got Whimsy on pit road also. Isaac Morris has laid down another one, a 106.71. That's the fastest lap in this race. So Isaac is laying down Lewis Hamilton-like laps right now. Hey, Jim Herrick making an appearance in chat. As Isaac crosses the line this time by, how about a 106.71? He barely misses his fastest lap by 6/100ths. As Lester comes down pit road. What am I getting banned for? I didn't say nothing wrong. Daniel McDonald running in P4 right now. Looks like he will jump back to second once these pit stops are completed. Here's only about 30 seconds back. The delta between 30 and 35 seconds as Daniel blinks out, and that's what causes that damage to happen. That's what fooled me earlier. He was kind of blinking out a little bit. Uh-oh. An appearance. Oh, somebody's off track there. It's one of the Nick Fleury, I think that's who that is. Nick Fleury has gone off track here and jumped to the pits. Let's see what happens. Oh, Fleury goes off in the SO when he parks in the tire barrier over there, and he has to tow to pit road. Tough break there as Isaac puts a lap on Sam Fontaine. Oh, and around goes, is that Whimsy over there? Yep, Whimsy goes off. Be able to straighten her back out, get going. There's Philip Lee, the General Lee, apparently known as. First gears it down into the turn A, turn 10A, turn 10B chicane down the hill. Phil trying to go for a second straight podium finish here. Podium last week at Road America. Looking to podium here at Road Atlanta. Apparently he likes the name Road in the track's name. Unfortunately, off the top of my head, I can't think of any other courses with the name Road in it right now. Lester with the fastest lap just now, 106.65. So when does Isaac come to pit road? The fuel window for the two stoppers, I think, is open this lap. Will he come at this point? Sure does. Isaac Morris coming to pit road. Roadhouse, isn't that a movie? I don't think that's a racetrack. Philip Lee also on pit road right here behind him. So here come all the two stoppers on the pit road with 21 laps to go. This will get them the fuel to the finish. Thunder Road, is that a track? So as I said, McDonald did jump Lee and jump Whalen, so up to second goes Daniel. The thing is, Daniel will have to stop one more time. I've never heard of that track either there, Jim. Edu Vila on pit road, doing a good job tonight. Patrick Swayze, by the way, in that Roadhouse movie. I think that's usually on TBS once a month, if I remember correctly. It's one of those movies they show all the time. That alongside U.S. Marshals and whatever else they've been showing lately. And think I'm lying about U.S. Marshals. Go look at their. Somebody's wrecking right here in front of. I heard that. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I thought somebody wrecked right there. Anyways, as Lester comes, or Dan Marrera comes to pit road, I should say. Go look at your guide and let me know next time U.S. Marshals is not on TBS. They always seem to show that movie. Savannah, Georgia. I did not know that. Roebling Road Raceway. Say that 3 times fast. If you have a racetrack in categories with the letter R, that'll get you 3 points right there as one car goes spinning off right here. It's Isaac Lopez. That's one way of getting out of the leader's way. So looking at the tires, you have Isaac right now. He's on the alternates. You got Daniel on the primes. Philip Lee's on the primes. Vilda Whalen on the primes. Sabin is on the alternates. So your top 5, you got 3 on prime, 2 on alternates right now with 20 laps to go. Whalen's only about 2 seconds ahead of Jessica Sabin. Now Vilda did just come off pit road. You see Jessica coming in right there into the chicane as Vilda comes up on the back of this lap car here. And she makes a move around. So we had this discussion, I think it was a week or 2 ago. We were talking about tracks that need to go on iRacing. And of course we talked about some road courses. I know we discussed Monaco. We've discussed Burke Lakefront Airport there in Cleveland. I did some more thinking here in the last couple of days, and I wanted to bring this back up again. So, tracks that we want to see on iRacing. St. Pete. Would we want to see the street circuit of St. Pete on here? That's one that I don't think it was mentioned. Vancouver, I think, was one that was mentioned in a previous conversation for a road course. Morris just went purple with a 6:17. Pit time window, it's about 30 to 35 seconds, 37 seconds actually to be exact, delta-wise. So if Philip wanted to undercut Daniel, he's going to have to get closer, because right now there's about a 13-second difference. I'm sorry, a 5-second difference between the two. So I think Philip's going to have to get a little bit closer to make this cut happen here, potentially for second. Now, both of them are on the primes. The one thing that's going to be different, though, here's the thing. McDonald is actually on older tires, 1, but 2, he's got a pit still. Lee is good to go. So Lee is going to move back ahead of McDonald, and he's going to be about 25 seconds back. So if everything goes right, I think Philip Lee is going to be running second by the end of this race. The battle is going to be, I'm looking at the time right now. McDonald is about 12 seconds ahead of Vilda, and then about 23 ahead of Jessica Sabin. So best case scenario here, I think Daniel McDonald is battling Jessica Sabin for 5th right now, if I do this math right. Morris just ran a 105.8, so he's laying the wood down now. We've actually got a battle back here for the 11th position. Danny Brennan's clawed his way up into 11th, but behind him, AJ Stravato. There's AJ right there. You can see the drop that corner has. Just amazing. I mean, when I'm sitting there on the highway, when I drive past this track at times delivering packages and stuff, I mean, you're looking down into a canyon, basically, and that's where you see the front straightaway at, and you look eye level and you're at the top of that corner. Where I sit at that track, it's like, man, you really see how steep it is. Oh, Travato's got a pretty good run here through the S's up to the straightaway. See if he makes a run here, turn 5. Oh, almost stuck his nose in there. Had to lock it up a little bit. That's going to kill his momentum here. He's going to try to drive it deep here and see if he can get push to pass going. Neither using it. No, this is Isaac Morris being Isaac Morris. He just flies around here. Oh, maybe see a crossover from Stravato. Let's see. Nope. If you're enjoying this race, make sure you do hit that subscribe button if you are just joining us tonight for the first time ever. Again, 99% of the races, I am a one-man show. I do broadcast every night. Tomorrow night, we'll have the, easy Stravato. The season debut of the Great Lakes Sim Racing Series. They got 40 trucks lined up at Talladega Super Speedway tomorrow night, ready to roll. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you join us at 8:45 Eastern tomorrow night, right around this time. And then Thursday night, we'll have the Short Track Super League from Bristol. That'll be Thursday night around the 8:40 time period. And then Friday night, BPRL on the road course at Watkins Glen, Friday and Sunday night. So we got a lot of great races coming up here for us. We got VOR, the IndyCar Series there. They're going to push the pass on for Stravato here. VOR actually is off this week. I was about to say they're racing. They're actually off until next week. Stravato going to make the pass for the 11th position there. However, the crossover made, and he got a little bit of the curve there, did Brennan, and he's going to lose the spot. We try to show all the passes we can when we're out here watching this race. 14 to go. And the window is open for those that are running the three-stop strategy here. I think you could see them come to pit road here any minute and swap over probably to the alternate red tires. Right on cue, Carlos Dotero to pit road. And he actually is going to stay on the primes as he rolls away. So there's Daniel McDonald, 16 seconds right now. He's got 5 seconds back to Philip Lee. And looking back at that distance to Saban, it is sitting at about 24 seconds. So right now, Saban would jump Daniel McDonald and have about a 14-second advantage. Well, not the race I'm sure that Daniel wanted to run, or not the pace, I should say. He was hoping probably to be quicker tonight as he was the pole sitter for this Apex Sage Coaching Grand Prix. We are now 50 laps in. There's Vilda in the 29 car doing a great job this evening. And I saw somebody posted in chat also, how about Edu Vila? Edu's done a great job tonight. He's saved up his push to passes. He was very notorious for using them as Jessica Saban comes to pit road. So this now opens the door for Daniel McDonald to still keep a top 5 run. I did not notice that Saban was on a 3-stopper. Fontaine is in. So move Ito up to the 5th position. Now Daniel McDonald to pit road, 12 laps to go. Is he really missing a front wing, or did he blink and his front wing disappear? I do not show him going off the track here on my. Oh, you know what? He did. Daniel McDonald crashed. There's the reset. So, issues for the 73. What happened? Oh, a car wrecks right in front of him. Oh, no. Who's that? One of the Chevrolet cars. Oh, you know, it's Danny Brennan is who that was. McDonald's going to lose a lot of track position after that. Let's watch this one more time. Going down here into the corner, you see, oh, just under braking, Brennan loses it, and Daniel, oh, nowhere to go. Let's see, Daniel comes out now behind. Edu Vila pretty much comes out right about where he would have no matter what, right in the 5th position, but he is now 7 seconds ahead of Jessica Saban, and Edu Vila is right here in front of him, so he'll be able to jump to 4th, it looks like. So I was sort of close, I guess. A little off. I'm sure Daniel's going to be disappointed when this race is over with running fourth, knowing he had a car that could potentially compete with Isaac for the win. Daniel's on push to pass here. Actually just used his first one of the race, so he's got plenty to use. Down the straightaway here to the chicane here, turn 10. He's going to make the pass. So Daniel McDonald to the 4th position. Philip Lee's got about 4 seconds on Vilda Whalen here. There's Vilda right there just coming down the hill towards the chicane. And this might be potentially becoming a battle for the 2nd position. Both of them on the Prime tires. As we have 8 laps to go. Again, next week we go across the pond to Monza, Italy. And race that very fast and fun course. Vilda's still about 4 seconds back here from Philip. There she is coming down the straightaway. You see Philip going into the chicane right now. So not close enough as we ride with Vilda. She runs into 3rd position, looking for another podium finish. The only thing it can show, I can't show interval to each other and push to pass. No, nothing like that, unfortunately. I wish. I got it on my personal one here, but I don't have anything like that on here, unfortunately. Down the hill, the battle is still at about 4 seconds between the two, so they're really not getting closer or separating from each other. These laps are ticking off very, very quickly as we'll have 5 to go next time by. A great top 10 here tonight. McDonald there 4th, Ito Vila 5th, Saban 6th. How about Tim Miller? Dan Marrera doing a great job in 8th. AJ Stravano 9th as Tim Miller comes to pit road. So short on fuel for him, but he'll do a short fill here. Shouldn't spend as long on pit road. And there goes Tim. Tim should still come out right in front of Dan Marrera, so he'll hold on to the 7th position right here. Got about 13 seconds or so. Daniel McDonald trying to hold off Edu. There's Jessica Sabin. Sabin is actually right here behind Edu Vila, so this is actually going to become a battle for position right here. I was looking there for a second, I was confused. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't see Jessica in the screen just now, but didn't realize I was on the wrong purple and white car. As here comes Sabin to the inside, she'll take 5th from Edu with 4 laps to go. Oh, and around goes that other car that I was on board with. That was Jeff Destino, unfortunately, going off. The interview we had earlier in the race. As you see, Sabin coming up on the back bumper of the leader, Isaac Morris. I don't think Isaac's been passed by anybody tonight. This might be a first. Last week at Road America, we had the driver pull off and do the old, hey, Isaac, can you let me run another lap? And look at this. He lets Sabin go on by. Lets Edo go on by. What a nice guy. Morris with a 27-second lead over Philip Lee as he's well on his way to another victory tonight. What has been fantastic racing tonight with the strategies and stuff playing a role. Of course, Isaac opened up the season with a win at Sebring. He was on his way to a win at Mid-Ohio, unfortunately spun. Long Beach, he got himself a victory. Michigan, he ran pretty well, unfortunately wrecked out of that. And, of course, that race actually didn't count in the end when it comes to standings and stuff, as we have 2 laps to go. Road America last week, he went to victory lane for a 3rd time and looks for victory number 4 tonight on the season. I've probably said this story plenty of times here the last few weeks during these races, but Isaac has been so focused this season on winning this championship. He's always had something getting in the way the last couple of seasons that have kept him from a championship. If it was personal issues or if it was racing issues that caused him to have off track and stuff like that, ruining his chance at a championship. But tonight, and here as we hit the halfway point after tonight's race, Isaac Morris is pretty much saying, guys, you're going to have to yank this championship out of my hands. As Travado comes to pit road with 2 laps to go. And here we go, final lap from Road Atlanta. Now, I've said this one too also a few times, Apex Sage Coaching. Isaac is the guy behind that. He is the coach of Apex Sage Coaching, and here tonight, he's out coaching the field again. Into the final couple straightaways here. Turn 8 and 9 down the straightaway he comes, and get ready for it. Here it comes, the Isaac Weave. He did this 2 seasons ago, and he's on his way to going to victory lane again. And there's some mini weaves. The only thing that could get in the way of Isaac winning this race right now is if you let Chris Lewis take the wheel for this last corner. But all jokes aside, he's going to dominate and score another victory as Isaac Morse wins in Road Atlanta. Philip Lee going to come through the final 2 corners. Down the hill, he's going to see a second straight podium. And a great job by Philip. Vilda Whalen, she's going to get a top 3 finish in a podium. Daniel McDonald, I'm pretty sure if there's anyone who might be the most disappointed tonight, you're looking at him. Wins the pole tonight, tries a 3-stop strategy, and unfortunately involved in a couple accidents, but McDonald still gets a 4th place finish. Jessica Saban going to take 5th. And Edu Vila going to finish 6th. There you see the blimp view looking out towards Flowery Branch, which is the home of the Atlanta Falcons training camp out to the south and west there, or north and west, I should say, as we take a look at the final racing results from Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. And a fantastic race as Estevan hits a dab on him. Isaac wins this thing by 23 seconds over Philip Lee. Vilda Whalen finishing in 3rd. Daniel McDonald, Jessica Saban, top 5. Edu Vila finishing 6th. Tim Miller 7th. Dan Marrera 8th. Samuel Fontaine 9th. And Austin Sarr getting a top 10. Carlos Dotero 11th. Isaac Lopez 12th. Nick Fleury 13th. Danny Brennan 14th. Andres Perez 15th. AJ Stravano 16th. David Wimsey 17th. Jeff Destino going to finish in the 18th position. So I move the thing over here on my screen. 19th going to go to, work with me, thank you, Lester, unfortunately finishing 19th, and see what happened to him. Matthew Telder 20th, Dylan Reisel 21st, Luke Daniels 22nd, Will Ashworth 23rd, Steve Grabowski going to finish in the 24th position in the race. And again, Chris Lewis was the admin tonight. He did not race when it is all said and done here this evening from Road Atlanta. As Isaac Morris celebrating, and that's a destroyed race car. All right. In victory lane this evening, Isaac, 4th win of the season. Good punctuation there, Scala. As Isaac definitely showing the field what's up this season. He is motivated and wants to win that championship very, very badly this season. I kind of have shared the story again multiple times, and not here to beat a dead horse, but facts are facts when it's all over with. And he has shown this season he is the guy to watch, and he is the guy to beat. As we bring Isaac up here into chat tonight, Isaac, congratulations again. You are definitely showing this league that this is your season to get that championship.
Yeah, it's going pretty well, isn't it? So
I'd say.
Yeah. Can't get too complacent though. I think might have like a 100-something point lead in the championship, but who knows? Like ovals are coming up, so yeah, ovals are pretty like dicey sometimes. So we'll see like how they go. But yeah, sitting at the top at the moment, it feels pretty nice after driving this league for so long and not seeing any like reasonable results. So like, yeah, I'm excited for the last 5 races now. So yeah.
We'll talk about the racing out there tonight. This track very technical, small, so you had to deal with lap traffic. I know there's a couple of spins right in front of you. unfortunate deals there, and it all worked out still for you when it was all over with. But to talk about the racing out there on the track tonight, the track very slick.
Yeah, the race was pretty good. We had the most superior strategy tonight. You know, qualifying on the primary tires as well really helped. You know, being in like, I think was it only like a tenth and a half of pole with the alternate tire, like, so they were on the alternate and I was on the primary, so like, you know, having the slower compound and only being a tenth and a half off them was really promising. And then I just bided my time in the first stint. Me and Vilda had like a bit of a battle, but you know that didn't last too long. I got the better of her. You know, just drove a little bit smarter, in my opinion, and then yeah, just went after the rest of them. Obviously, William and Jessica spun in front of me, so then I just really had to worry about Dan. And because he was having problems with the tires, he pitted early, which I think was a bad call. But yeah, you live and you learn, right?
Absolutely. And you know, you kind of mentioned a little bit ago not getting complacent. So I wanted to ask here, how do you keep yourself, I guess, under control, for a lack of a better way of putting it? Because you know you've got that big lead. You got another great road course in Monza coming up next week. How do you keep yourself under control from getting out of the box, so to say, and letting that lead potentially slip away?
You've literally just got to approach every race like it's the start of the season, and you know you always want to try and win the first race of the season, right? Because it puts you in a good position for the next race, and so on and so forth. And that's how I kind of approach it. And you know, when I look at the race, or when I turn up to the race beforehand, I see everyone's got 0 points, everyone's on equal playing fields, and you know, you just drive, and yeah, you just got to come into the race neutral headed, and think that everyone is trying to do the same thing as you, and yeah, that's about it, really.
Well, great job tonight, Isaac. Way to dominate. You're the only winner so far in this track's history in the 2 seasons we've had. And you can send shout-outs to whoever you like to.
So obviously big shout out to Chris and TI Racing, because you know, say this week in week out, wouldn't be able to do this if it weren't for them. Big shout out to our main sponsor, General Motors. Hopefully we're keeping them happy by winning all these races. I think only TI cars have won races this season, no one else. So to show that Mercedes-like dominance that they have in Formula One feels pretty good. So yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to my coaching school as well, Apex Sage Coaching. You know, like I think that's about it, really. There's not really much to say about the coaching thing. It's just like, just throw it out there.
Other than if you're looking for a coach, he's a pretty good one, apparently. Well, great job, Isaac. Congratulations on the win there, bud. 4th of the season.
4, is it?
I think that's it, right? 4? Yeah, 4 out of 5, technically. I mean, you spun at turn 5. That's the one thing that kept you from winning all 5, not to make you angry.
You know, you got to learn from your mistakes at the end of the day, and, you know, no one's a perfect driver, and you just got to get there. You know, everyone makes mistakes eventually, and you just got to learn from them.
There you go. Well, nice job, man. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Absolutely. Isaac Morris, the winner tonight here in Road Atlanta, and Jim Herrick with the suggestion of putting 50 pounds on his car. That would be a very interesting ruling to do there, I must say. All right, Philip Lee, second straight top 3 finish. Philip has definitely got the momentum going. And Philip, I made the joke during the broadcast that if it has the name Road in it, you seem to be pretty good at that track.
Yeah, actually, I really like both Road America and Road Atlanta, so I didn't mind doing a bunch of practice the last couple of days.
Well, talk about your race, because you had a nice strategic battle with Daniel McDonald and Vilda. You had to drive through some of these cars and make passes and stuff tonight. But it just all worked out, and it seemed like you just had a great rhythm.
Yeah, I was a little worried going into the race because during some of the practice sessions I was kind of struggling to get to that 21 laps out of my tank, and so I knew I was gonna have to do some fuel saving. So I figured out how to do that a little bit today, and when I started the race and started back in seventh or eighth, and I knew I was going to have a pretty good opportunity to fuel save those first few laps, and then just kind of let the first stint come to me. And since the second stint was going to be technically a little bit longer because of that 21st lap being your out lap, I figured since I'm going to have to do a lot more fuel saving in that stint, I might as well go on to the reds, which were pretty sketchy in practice. So I figured instead of pushing 100% on the reds and wearing them out, I could fuel save and just get through the stint and use the reds that I had to use, and then get back on the primaries for that last stint. But I kind of messed up. In practice, I was able to do an extra lap in that middle stint, and I was actually, like, the car was dying going into the pits, so I didn't really want to do that again during this race. And so I went in a lap early, and I kind of figured out I needed to fuel save a bit more during the final stint. So I couldn't push as hard as I wanted to try to catch back up to Isaac, but I mean, he's kind of in a race of his own anyway, so I'm all good.
We did a great job tonight, man. A nice job, second straight podium, finishing second. Monza does not have the name road in it, unfortunately, so let's hope we can break that streak next week. But great job, and send shout-outs to whoever you like to.
I appreciate it. Yeah, again, just like to shout out my teammate, Dylan Rizal, who had an unfortunate incident in this race. Tim Miller, who had a great race. He made it all the way up to P7, even on an extra stop. And then Vilda Wallen, she also had a really good race. Started up front, but with that pit strategy, just kind of worked her way back. But she ended up on third, so she's doing great. And again, I appreciate all the broadcasting that you guys do.
Absolutely. Well, nice job, Philip. Congratulations, bud.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Philip Lee finishing in the second position. Normally, we would talk to third place Vilda Whalen, but from what I remember, and I'm going to wait here for a second in case I'm wrong, I believe Vilda is not the she doesn't like talking much on the air, so if I remember correctly. So I just want to give a shout-out to Vilda on her third place finish tonight. Congratulations, you young lady, and happy for you. And we will move on to Monza. That is the next race on the schedule next week, and it is the full Formula One distance, 53 laps at Monza next week. Going to be a very interesting race. I might have to go find a tape of Monza and watch that race and see what kind of pit strategy they do, and maybe put that on for the race there. It should be a very interesting one when it's all over with. So that'll be the next time you see us on the air, next Tuesday night from Monza in Italy. So we'll enjoy some pasta or some pizza and have a good old time next week in the awesome country of Italy. Next time we're on the air, tomorrow night, the Season 4 debut, I had to make sure I got that number right, of the Great Lakes Sim Racing Truck Series. That will be from Talladega Super Speedway tomorrow night. That is going to be a fun race to watch. Hopefully we will see you for that tomorrow night. So we are heading out, and thanks to of course, TI Racing for allowing us to broadcast both their series on Monday and Tuesday nights. Chris Lewis, appreciate you allowing us to do this, and appreciate everything you've done for Captain TV. Also, a big shout out to iRacing for allowing us to broadcast on their platform. Shout out to the TV Cams for Gourmet for shots like this. You can't go wrong with that, right? Appreciate all what they do for Captain TV and making this stream a lot of fun to do. So with that said, we're out, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. And as always, remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!
Let go of fear, you're holding the fire smoldering, it's starting all over again. I gotta feel Be strong.